Welcome back, everyone. I am X, your manager here at Lobotomy Corporation. This is just going to be a short little part that I'm just going to read through all the details. So it's going to be a little sub-part. I'll probably release it alongside the another episode or something like that, or probably the previous one. Of course, previous is relative to me. But the details are actually kind of important in some cases. They actually can tell you some fancy things, though a lot of them do leave out some, despite being called details, it still leaves out important ones, like the fact that Magic Bullet actually kills your own people. It doesn't actually tell you that. But I'm going to go through all of them, and then just make this its own little short little clip. Alright, so we got the bear paw. Stuffing sticks out of the bear like forgotten innocence. It looks cute. A child may like to receive it as a gift. It requires extra case as it is fragile and can tear. Some sympathetic employees felt sorry for it and asked for it to be repaired. However, the outcome of repairing was unforeseeable, so the proposal was rejected. Do not be fooled by its fluffy exterior. So, Penitence. This is like one of the first weapons we got. Actually has an ability. There's a 5% chance on attack to gain plus 10 sanity, but requires you to have 2 or higher justice. So with this, you can actually, if you're meleeing something that does, only sanity damage, this thing can kind of keep you going if you have at least 2 justice. Knowing meant understanding. We succeeded in materializing the prototype, and the observer reconstructed it as a weapon. This was why we focused on an observation. The hollow eye sockets gaze into sins, and the crown of thorns blame them. To use this weapon, one must have the drive to exact carnage for the greater good. Though this weapon is not as strong as other eco weapons, it provides psychological comfort to the wielder. However, there is no comfort for those who lack justice. The Loneliness Pistol. A strong sense of loneliness still lingers even in the form of an ego. Its bullets inflict damage to the victim's soul, not flesh. It was a rusty weapon from the beginning. Screaming Wedge. 50% chance to increase sanity by 5 on each attack if the fortitude and prudence level of the wielder is less than 3. So this only requires prudence 2 to equip, but you generally want 3 in both prudence and fortitude to avoid the penalty. The woman's dejection grew hair on the crossbow. The sound of the projectile splitting the air is reminiscent of her piercing scream. Wielders must be careful when using this weapon, as hair can tangle the wielder's hands and drag them into the endless sorrow. Only iron-willed employees can use this without side effects. The Wrist Cutter. It bears blood marks as if it were gripped by the hands soaked in everlasting blood. To ease the pain on the victim, its sharp blade can cut through the bones like a hot knife through butter. The victim of this weapon cannot regenerate itself. It will also permanently cut off the will to pursue happiness from the victim. That's, I guess, why it does white damage. Soda. A weapon extracted by a late employee who really liked shrimp. The pistol is a vivid purple and it smells like grapes. Somewhere Spear. Max SP plus 40% for 30 seconds, 10% chance when used by an employee whose prudence level is 4 or below. Do not try to understand it, just use it. The spear often tries to guide its wielder into an endless spiritual realm, but the wielder must not be deceived. Its gestalt was changed on every extraction and was finally fixed after numerous attempts. There is a rumor of this spear emitting bright light when it hears an echo from another world. Letitia Rifle. It takes a lot of time, but its power cannot be ignored. The crude design looks to have been made a long time ago. The small accessory remains like the hope of a small child that yearns for happiness. The Wing Beat. The weapon with the blessing of the fairies shines with a pale light. Unlike the wing's adorable form, the ego itself is heavy. Cherry Blossom. Petals scatter from the fan like after images, longing for the past few. Spring breeze that dones cherry blossom petal is cold and painful. Don't miss me. I shall return as buds when winter leaves. And then the Magic Bullet. Though unable to fully extract the power of the prototype, the magical power it holds is still potent. The bullet crosses the corridor along the horizon. So it doesn't tell you specifically that it murders everybody. Alright, the bear paw. It may have been fluffy once, but now it just looks shabby. Repair requests were rejected. Its warm memory of hugs was forgotten when it was thrown away. Stuffing sticks out of the bear like forgotten innocence. Noise. Instead of a clear shape, its form is an electromagnetic phenomenon. When this ego is equipped, various screams will boom along with an eerie ringing, as if taking you to the very moment of the day that everyone forgot. Penitence. Sanity plus 10, 5% chance on receiving red or black damage. Kinda neat, but if you're taking red damage, then the sanity is irrelevant. Guns and blades are ineffective against the abnormalities. If the abnormalities are materialized from unconsciousness, it may be possible to extract and turn them into a weapon. Results vary depending on the observer. The crown will sometimes protect the wielder's soul, however the thorns hurt as they anchor your soul in reality. Those who have no sense of guilty cannot benefit from this suit. So the reason that it's a little bit more detailed for penitence is because that's your first abnormality and therefore your first ego suits and ego weapons. To hide soft inside, arm yourself with loneliness. Give everything or nothing. The suit will protect the wearer's fragile mind. The flesh is clean cut by a sharp tool. The blood strains on it show a grotesque pattern. I think stain is what it's supposed to be saying. The suit itself holds deep sorrow and agony, which will shield the wearer against most weight attacks. When worn by employees with low sanity, it may cause recurring sorrowful dreams. A suit that feels like aluminum when touched. It's quite light. Some say it smells of salts when worn for a long time. Do not try to understand it, just use it. They say that someone who wears the ego suit can see things that were forgotten, but one cannot be certain of what would be seen as every employee sees something different. Its gestalt changed on every extraction and was finally fixed after numerous attempts. The ribbon on the coat represents a child's yearn for happiness. Since the kid could not leave her friend behind, she thought of a brilliant idea. The sprouting wings are as mischievous as fairy pranks. It goes without saying, but the wings don't allow flight. Wearing this ego may make it easier to receive the care of fairies. This ego makes hearts of those who look at it flutter. Let us take a rest from life, life looking at those cherry blossoms. Sitting on the tree's shadow makes you feel like those painful days are merely an illusion. Max and min attack power plus 3 when the weapon from the same abnormality is equipped. So if you have both these equipped, you do an additional 3 damage essentially. Though unable to fully extract the power of the prototype, the magical power it holds, yeah, still same thing. Same description. Alright. And that is all the descriptions. From now on, I'll try to be sure to read those as we unlock them, and we'll just go from there. See ya.